What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Echoes of Ellum, the podcast where we're going to be taking a lot of deep dives into the Deep Ellum music scene of Dallas, Texas, from about 1990 to 2010. Our first guest is one of the most rock-solid, in-the-pocket drummers I've ever come across, and he's also a good pal of mine. He's a 25-year veteran of the scene, Mr. Bradley Mcmurtry. Bradley has played live with, recorded with, or filled in for 62 different bands. Wowzers. I really couldn't think of anybody more perfect to start this out with. So now that we got that out of the way, let's get straight to it.
Everybody. So me and him would come up with those little jam ditties, and then we threw them at you, and you guys did whatever. And the one show that we did was it was kind of neat because I've never really got into a real pattern songwriting deal, you know. Right. I'm a drummer, dude, so it's not like it's like, hey man, you play this, okay, you know.
So to actually be involved in the songwriting process,
right,
really
exactly.
Feel like you got a piece of it, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I hit record for us, so we'll just go ahead and, you know, what's up, man? How you doing?
How are you, dude? Thanks a lot for having me on your show here, and I get to be the pilot one. How about that?
Yeah, man, total pilot episode. We're just winging it here, so, you know, bear with us. But hey,
that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. I appreciate the fact that you're doing this for, I guess you could say us old-timers at this point. Is there even a Deep Ellum anymore?
I want to shine a light on that particular era because there was a lot of really special stuff from back then. A lot.
It really was.
Yeah, I really think there was. Yeah,
I can think of all kinds of bands that were big. I mean, Bounty Pool came out of that era. But there was Liquor Stick, and they won the VH1 Bands on the Run. Then there was the Muir. And the Muir did the theme for whatever that Dr. Dreamy show on Sunday nights on Fox, I think maybe. I forget the name of it. I'll think of it here. They did it was a TV show, and they did the theme music. Mm-hmm. There was also Hellified Punk Crew. There was Pimpedelic, Pimpedelic, Slow Roosevelt. And then you had just a little bit lower echelon bands. There was Tom Sara, Loaded Moses, named Big Iron.
Big Iron, yeah.
Low Gear is still around.
Yeah, they're killing it right now.
They absolutely no original members in the band, though. Yeah.
With which one?
The Low Gear.
Right. I remember going back and digging into their discography recently and finding some of the older CDs from the 90s.
Sure.
And not recognizing, you know, a lot of the guys on there. It's like an Opeth situation where, like, Opeth doesn't have any original members right now from when they started way back when.
Right. Yeah, Low Gear, the original singer was a long time. He was the founding guy. I mean, he was Low Gear.
Right.
And his brother was the front guy, Philip. Philip went on to play in Cal 40. I don't know if you remember them.
Okay.
Yeah. They were great. I forget the name of the. I have it the disc or whatever. I have it somewhere. I got a lot of good local bands.
I've seen your collection before in pics and stuff. I was going to ask you about your vinyl collection because it's awesome, and your stereo too. I saw your setup; it looks rad.
Yeah. I collect vintage audio stuff. I have vintage PA stuff even. I like vintage stuff.
Nice.
I'm all about the analog.
You kind of inspired me to start my own vinyl collection, actually, really. I mean, because I saw yours and I started building mine, you know, and it's really grown into something now. I love it.
Yeah, the house we had in Katy, when we lived down there for 6 years, it was cathedral ceiling, you know, like 12, 14 feet maybe. It went from 10 to 12 or 13, something like that anyway. But there was laminate floors, and so I would mount those my speakers up like on the wall, and you got that natural Dolby surround because the sound was bouncing off the wall.
Right.
It was great, and it was all through vinyl, really.
Nice.
I mean, if you can't be there, you might as well have Led Zeppelin in your living room. You know?
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
I wanted to see about where you started in Ellum, like what, like where Like maybe one of your first experiences when you first kind of went down there and were like, whoa, I got to be a part of this, you know? Because I remember that moment for me kind of when I went down there, and I think it was Frolic was the band that I saw first. That
Frolic,
was the first
there's
band
another
I
one.
saw.
Wow.
Yeah. But I wanted to ask you about maybe one of your first experiences down there.
Frolic, if I'm not mistaken, real quick, their lead guitar player died. And why they were like kind of making it to their point. So hats off to that guy and memories.
Like the main vocalist, the main songwriter from the group?
No, it's Frolic. He was the guitar player.
Oh, the guitar player. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they carried on after him, but I think it was a while. Anyway, so my first deal of Deep Ellum, how I got into it. Okay, I would say I got out of the Army in '97 and moved to Dallas, and I bought a VW kit. It was a special order back then in '97, and so we had to wait 4 months to get it. And so what I did was I worked overtime to have it paid off. I bought it in September. I wanted it paid off by Christmas, and that was like a kit, all new hardware and symbols, everything, the whole deal. So when I got the kit and it was paid for, that was like February. I went to this open mic deal that Brooke Mace had put on, and I went because the only guy that I knew at the time was John Burris. John Burris had this open mic deal, worked at Brooke Mason. He would have all the students come in. I knew him. He was like, hey, man, we're going to have some instructors come up. You know, won't you come up and jam? It was on a Monday night, even. It was a place called the Cuckoo's Nest on Greenville Avenue. And I went and I signed my name on the deal, and my turn came up to go play a song. And stood on stage, I knew one guy. I didn't know the bass player or the singer at all, not even close. And they said, hey, Radiohead Creep? Yeah, it's simple. And of course, to me, I'm thinking, God damn, I waited all this fucking time to play that something? Yeah. Anyway, so we start playing the song, and where that riff, that guitar riff comes in. Okay. This guy comes flinging out of nowhere. He flings his hair and starts jamming. He jammed that part. And that guy was Steve Curtis. And Steve Curtis was the front guy, singer, songwriter, the band, The Dark Alliance.
Oh,
they were a band in Dallas at that time. And he was needing a drummer. And that song, he grabbed me and he was like, come here, brother. Come on, we're going to take you down here to the strip joint. And you're in my band, bro. And I'd never really played any kind of metal at all. I thought I was going to be finding a blues band, playing like Ian Moore stuff at the time. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I got into his band, and my first gig in Deep Ellum was it was at The Rock. I don't know if you remember The Rock.
No.
It was across the street from the Galaxy Club.
Ah, okay.
It was It was like a break-off branch of On the Rocks. I'm sure you've heard of.
Yeah.
Louis DeCamus was the guy who owned that joint. Anyway, that was my first gig. But before that happened, my first impressions of Deep Ellum was I just got out of the Army, and a buddy of mine, he was still in the Army, he came down from Fort Sill, and we went to go see New Year's Eve. We went and saw Slow Roosevelt and Pimpedelic at Trees. That's Christmas '97. And we were there, and Slow Roosevelt played, and we were like, wow, what a great man, And then Pimpedelic was setting up, and they have a DJ guy, And while he's setting up, there's this guy standing in front of the stage, and he's yelling something at the DJ dude. This is before they started playing. Anyway, so the guy comes out from the DJ, and he goes, what did you say? And then kicks the motherfucker, in the face. And that was my first impression of Deep Ellum. Of course, I was like, oh, man, I love this shit. This is great. And then, of course, a couple months later, I got to play down there and then played the Galaxy Club with the Dark Line, stuff like that. That's how I got in. Long story.
That's cool, though, that your first experience down there also led to one of your first like real projects. You know, like you found
Yeah,
somebody
absolutely.
pretty quickly there.
Yeah, it was really neat. I mean, when you get out of the Army and you're 26, okay, you you think you're going to be in a blues band, and next thing you know, you get thrusted into what is it? They call that thrash metal, I guess.
Right.
And I never really, I mean, I was a Metallica fan, I liked Anthrax, but thrash metal at that time was not my deal. So I had to teach myself how to do that shit. It's pretty interesting.
That's quite a stretch from blues. That is.
Yeah.
So it is. That's quite a change. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, chronologically, after Dark Alliance, what did you go to after that?
Okay, after Dark Alliance, I took a. Do you remember the Harder Beat there in Dallas?
Oh,
the newspaper? Yeah. Okay. Linda Holler.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin White, if you get to watch this. I had them on my show back in the day. Anyway, so I took an ad to Linda Holler's house for Dark Alliance, and I got inadvertently, she says, "Are you looking for a different band, a different project?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm not a metal player, but I mean, yeah, I'm always looking." She introduced me to these guys, Kevin White, who was her editor, like head editor, I believe. Anyway, he worked for the paper, and he had a band, and they were looking for a drummer, and so I went and met them, and it seemed that we gelled, and we were the band Faith, and we won the Heart of Beat Showcase.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And when we won the Heart of Beat Showcase, we decided to fire the singer, which was Kevin, who was the editor. And that was 24 or 5 years ago. He and I kissed and made up. Anyway, we became Bullet Ant. Bullet Ant became like a rap rock band, and we were known for. We wore silly outfits on stage. We were a live band, totally. Studio, it was like we sounded like Rage Against the 311 or something, you know, because it was the time, in the late '90s, early 2000s, and we became this band, Bullet Ant, and we wrote all new stuff and came up with this gimmick. And somehow, some way, in 2001, July of 2001, Saliva had the #2 song nationwide with the My Disease, whatever it was.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they had they came through Texas
or whatever. Yeah.
They needed an opening band, and Big Iron, like a bunch of dumbasses, packed it up. So Bullet Ant, we got it. So we did all the Texas shows, minus the whatever freaking bar, or whatever the hell the Eagles had during June, July, whatever. We didn't get to play the Dallas date, but we got to play all the other Texas dates. We got to play the legendary White Rabbit in San Antonio, Engine Room in Houston, which was kind of legendary at the time. I don't know if it's still there. But after that, I left Bullet Ant in 2002 and started. I met my in-between girlfriend, if I call him, Brock. Brock had this band Womb, and he was able to get me from Bullet Ant and Queeno, who was in Ghoultown. She's now retired.
I love Ghoultown.
Yeah, right?
Mm.
So we formed, he had this band. He was the singer-songwriter. He was like, all we had to do was we had to come in and learn his shit. And that actually led me to meeting musicians.net, which put me into contact with the band Girl, which was a all-girl band. And the girl drummer they had decided she was moving to California or something, I don't know. And the only other girl in the band, only other girl drummer in Dallas was Heather the Red, and she was playing with Ellie Mae. No, I don't know. Eat My Pie is what they were called. And it was a band with the rock and roll attorney from the Russ Martin show. You remember that guy?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, they had the band, and she was not interested, or she was ill, or something.
Right.
And so I got hired because I was the most flamboyant drummer in Dallas. Because hair and, you know, the whole deal.
Right.
I didn't care. I was all about the entertainment. So they hired me, and so I was juggling room and girl, and then ended up sticking with girl. And this went on until about 2003, until, of all bands, Samsara was looking for a drummer. And that's where things got different again. So I went from metal to punk rock, you know, chick punk rock, to more of a grungier, I hate the word alternative, okay?
Yeah.
Toolistic, is that a word?
It is kind of hard to nail down what Loaded Moses or Samsara would
well, no,
be
Samsara.
exactly.
So
yeah.
I'm going to get there. Hold on. So Samsara was looking for a drummer, and I believe I answered an ad. And I met up with Chris, hit it off with Janardan. Didn't really meet you until the rehearsal, but I met up with Chris. I got a disc. They were like, here, learn whatever song you want to learn. And I took that disc home. I listened to it, and I whipped up Quick and Easy, Up Against, and Mission Control.
Yeah.
Mission Control is still a badass song.
Oh, man,
okay.
I love that song.
Well, they all
so
are,
cool.
really. But
yeah.
Mission Control was, I think, should have been y'all's direction, but that's a different story.
It was one of my favorites, too. Yeah. I love the intro for Mission Control. Yeah.
Right.
But that's interesting, though. I forgot that it seemed like for some reason in my head I remembered it as if we knew you before that, like before the Samsara stuff, but I guess we didn't.
No, Janardan came out. Janardan came out. Shauna, they came out to a show that I was playing with Girl, because I was like, no, man, I really know how to play. So they came out to watch me play at the, you remember the Hard Rock Cafe?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so they came out and saw that show, so they saw me play with the lesbian band. And they were like, oh, cool, you got it, you can play. So, like 2 weeks later, I called Chris. I said, when do you want to do this tryout? Because I can't. He was like, dude, we can do it tomorrow. I said, okay, tomorrow noon. And so I showed up. I played with you guys, and things went real well. Then I had another one and showed up, and things went real well. And then on the third one, you guys were like, okay, so we're going to have a band. And I went, well, there goes that. But what Chris ended up doing is he got me in touch with South FM, which is another old Deep Ellum.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I got an audition with them. They had this conception of what I was in Bullet Ant, which was like this cocky, arrogant, you know, flamboyant dude.
Right.
They opted not for me, but they referred me, as Chris did, was to Loaded Moses. And they were looking for a drummer. And I never played 3/6 time or 6/8 time, which they had. So I met up. I got a disc. Actually, Chris gave me the disc, a 3-song demo. Here, learn these tunes, and go in and kick their ass. I was like, okay, cool. So I actually had a script. I took a day, and I was like, good. I've never played that much, 6/8 or 3/4.
Right.
So I went in and just goofed around with it for the whole day. But I knew that when I listened to their stuff, I knew that that was the band I was looking for the entire time.
Right.
There was a dual guitar. There wasn't a rhythm in a lead. They were both like dueling leads, like Iron Maiden, but not like that.
Right.
But that dual guitar style.
No, they were a great guitar duo, definitely.
Yeah, they really were. Brad and Chan. So I got in that band and played with them a couple of years, and then I was 35, and I was like, man, I don't think I'm going to make MPD. So I dropped out for a while and went to HVAC school, took my GI Bill, because I was in the Army for 7 years. I took my GI Bill, HVAC school, and pardon me. Got out of school, and we had moved into a new house, Vanessa and I, in Louisville, and I had like 2 or 3 kids at the time, and I hadn't played in like a year, and we moved in this house, and everything stacked up like in this room. What are you going to do? Are you going to play again, or are you going to do whatever? And so I don't know. I got on what is it? Regular back page, whatever it was.
Back page, yeah.
Okay. And as the story goes, there was I started jamming with this one guy because he hired me for some studio stuff. Yeah. And then I answered some ads on Backpage, and I would go play with these cover bands just to goof off. Then this guy, Chris Bender, he had this ad on whatever, with Craigslist. And evidently, I don't remember it. I don't at all, really. But I was drunk as fuck. And I answered an ad for a Guns N' Roses, we need a drummer. We're looking for Steven Adler.
Right.
And I'm a huge, still am, a huge Guns N' Roses fan. And so I thought, well, I'll go jam. Well, actually, this is after he called me. I responded to the deal, and he called me back like 3 days later. And I was like, I did? I answered an ad? Okay, I don't remember. Anyway, so he hired me. Here's what was interesting. He told me that he knew who I was from the Lord of Moses deal. And he had like these auditions lined up. And I said, dude, I tell you what, if you give me 3 weeks, because I just graduated HVAC school, and I said, if you can wait 3 weeks, they're going to send me to this frozen carbonated beverage school, which was like 2 weeks in Louisville, Kentucky. I said, I'll come back and I'll handle it. And I get there, and he actually had this guy that was being a slash, and it was him and me. And they knew like 4 Guns N' Roses tunes, okay? And I was like, cool, I know them all. So we're playing them. We ran them a couple times. I thought, well, there's my dog. There's my dog again. Hey! Sorry.
No, you're good. What's their name? What's the dog's name?
Shut up!
What's the dog's name?
Buster.
Buster?
Yeah.
Hi, Buster.
Oh, no, don't get him excited. He went on San Antonio with me last. Anyway, so I show up and I play these 4 Guns N' Roses songs, and I thought, I'd rather do this than jam with this dude and this dude, because this is on Sundays and I can, hold on. What? Chill out. All right, here we go. Sorry. You
You're
can
good.
cut that out. All right, so I was like, this is right up my alley. I'll just go jam with him.
He's on.
I'll go here. Hold on. All right. So I shut the door on his ass. Okay, so I thought this is right up my alley because I wasn't really getting ready. I was thinking we're never going to find an axle. We're never going to find a splash. Splash it there. Well, one thing led to another, and we became this band, like Bender said we would. And Chris Bender, being has an MBA from I think SMU, works at Raytheon, and decides that he wants to have a tribute band on the side. And he's like, here's the attack, and this is what we're gonna do. And next thing you know, after answering that ad 6 months later, we're in Mexico playing in front of 14,000 people. And that was our 3rd gig. Yeah. So I spent the next 4 years playing with him, the Guns N' Roses. And that was, 2009 to 2012. And this is when tribute bands were kind of like blowing up and all that stuff.
Like when
remember they used to have the Jack Throwback, and all that stuff?
Yeah.
We played the very first, second, and third one. But the first one, there was only 4 bands, and we were one of them, which was kind of cool. But every weekend from the beginning or the end of April to the beginning of October, or end of October, around Halloween time, every single weekend we flew or drove or went somewhere and played some state fair, some town, whatever. And dude, we played a CFL halftime show one time. we went to Honduras on a school night, like Mexico, Canada. We went all the way north of Canada and played an Indian reservation one year. If it was paying, we were playing. But we went to New York, Miami, L.A., Buffalo. Yeah, we went everywhere. And now before the match, the scene got saturated. So left that band, and that was a funny story that I'll talk about that later. That was 2013 was when I left that band.
Yeah.
And that's when I kind of like started getting burned out. But I helped Mike Hamill form his band Def Legend, which is a Def Leppard tribute band, big in Dallas. I actually came up with a name.
It's a good name. Cool.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
I thought so. Along the way, okay, so there's that kind of chronological order. I left out a couple of artists that I played with on the side. I played in a buttload of cover bands. Anyone that needed a fill-in drummer, I did it along the way. There was because I was like I could play for many years. I was probably still karaoke drummer.
Right.
Yeah, I know that one. You know this one? Yeah, I know that one. It was pretty fun. I played with in that womb girl period. I was juggling 4 bands, actually, not just those 2, but Amy Jo, which I sent you an Amy Jo song.
Yeah.
She was the most interesting artist I got the project I worked with, because she was the first one that had the most passion with her talent, and it was interesting to go from a bunch of rock stars to a diva. But she could hold her own, and we played. Right. We were a 3-piece band. She had a bass player, drummer, and then she played piano and sang. That was it.
Power trio.
Yeah,
nice.
And from a loungy type feel. Along the way, also from 2004 until when I left, which was 2015, left Dallas. I played churches. Okay, and I followed this worship leader. His name was Jeremy Blado. He was Chuck E. Cheese for 20 years. Like, he did all the music, did all the writing, did all the vocals, instruments. Everything that you heard at Chuck E. Cheese was Jeremy Blado.
Really? Wow.
And I played with him for 12 years, and he and I still play in this little band on the weekends every once in a while.
What's that band called?
It's called Rock-a-Fire Express.
Rock-a-Fire Express?
Yeah, as
That's
in like
awesome.
From the ripoff from Showbiz.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we play golf courses and company parties. We just do like all the we Hotel Van and Grapevine. I mean, we wouldn't like play like I don't know any of these clubs anymore that go to Sherlock's or something like that. We don't do that.
Like you said earlier, if they were paying, y'all were playing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Nowadays, it's more like if you're paying this amount, then I'm playing. But no, I won't leave the house unless it's going to be fun. That's the one thing that as you've gotten older, you can probably attest to. You start getting kind of picky with your time.
Yes.
And so it's like I'm not 28 to have time to piss away. I got things going on at the house, and what's in it for me?
Absolutely.
If everyone's serious, is that it's an ego trip, which some people have. Oh, we got to go play these shows. Why? Because to feed your ego? No, I'm trying extra money for weed.
It's so different now. Just the whole construct of how an artist goes about getting a larger audience. It's so different now than what it was like 20 years ago. So vastly different. Absolutely. Yeah.
The thing about Dallas, though, I don't want to say it's sad. I mean, I don't approve of it. But Dallas went from being like a hotbed for bands in Deep Ellum, and that's why you're having the show. Like I was talking about, Flicker Stick was on VH1. There was Brownie Pool and the Merge. Even Pimpedelic had like a little deal.
A Dozen Furies.
Yeah.
Remember A Dozen Furies? They won that Ozfest contest, I believe.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Stillborn, were they Stillborn Nursery? I
Yep,
know
I
they won
remember
one.
them. I've got one of their
Okay.
posters here still, actually. Yeah.
Right on. But it became like original music, like almost Metro, like it was almost a Seattle scene, almost here in Dallas, close to, and it went from great original bands to tribute bands, and I'll be honest about tribute bands, I'm not a fan. I mean, I played in them for years, paying I'm playing, but I wouldn't go see one.
Right.
If I was wanted to get a reminder of a band. I would just put in their disc or pull up YouTube, but I'm not going to go pay $10 to watch, I don't know, a bunch of douchebags with wigs on to go.
There's
that's
just
my
nothing that
opinion.
can replace the original music.
Right.
It's,
right.
Once you've
I've
been
always
a part
said
of
that,
something like that, it's really hard to top that.
You're to me, and from the experience, I can say this, and I don't mean this in a negative way.
Right.
But your audience is WWF or WWE fans. I mean, I don't want to call it cheap entertainment, just less picky.
Right.
Is that nice enough to say?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You say whatever you want on here, man. Don't worry about it.
Well,
No
I don't want
pressure.
to I don't want to offend. Back in the day, I wouldn't care, but I don't want to I have respect for people and whatever they do.
One of the pieces of music that you were on Till the End of Days, right?
Correct.
Loaded Moses.
Yes.
There's a song on there, The Ascendant.
Yes.
I love that song, dude. I've been stuck on that song. The last road trip we took, I was listening to it the entire time. Like I fell in love with that song, man. I've been listening to it on repeat. You can ask my wife, been driving her crazy. Like, she actually likes it too, but I mean, I've been playing it a lot. So
that song in particular, I remember we recorded it. We came up with a song and we went in and we played like a series of songs for Eric Delegard, and he picked like 4 out of like 7 songs we played for him. That was one of them. And that day that we recorded, I changed the drum part. I wanted just something straight beat, like punk rock it, because it was a fast beat song. The original, I have the original demo, and it sounds a little bit different. And it all changed. I just changed the drum part, and it made it more punchy, punch.
that groove, man, it's great.
Yeah. When we did the reunion, the last reunion show, speaking of which, we would Loaded Moses did reunion shows from 2015 to 19, where we would play like once or twice a year. The first 2, they used the original drummer, and I would come in and play some songs. But the last 4 that we had was just me on drums. And when I was driving from Houston, they let me pick the set list, which I was like, great. And the last one that we played, that song was the opening song. I figured, all right, let's kick ass right off the bat. So I appreciate the justification of how cool that song is.
I saw that picture of, I guess it was you. It was the drummer, one of the drummers in Loaded Moses, and you were standing right next to him with congas, I believe.
Yeah, I did. That was the first 2 shows that we did. What that was a celebration of evolution, really, for Chad Beck. What Loaded Moses became, and then what they became with In Memory of Man, because they became the band In Memory of Man, and now they're Royal.
What was that again? The last one?
They are now called the Royal Sons.
Oh, the Royal Sons.
Yes.
Okay, I need to look that up. Yeah, I hadn't followed all the way yet into what they became.
It's nothing like Loaded Moses at all. They're a real Southern rock, gritty, like Jimmy Page goes to Luckenbach. Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So they reformed, Loaded Moses reformed in 2015, and they were going to do a show, and I saw a post online, and I maybe talked to Chad once a year for the last, at that point, 6 years, and saw their picture, and I said, hey, man, would it be cool if I came in and played like 2 songs, with you guys, like on stage? and they were like, and Chan was like, let me check with the fellas, and I'll get back with you. So about a week later, he said, okay, we're going to give you 5 songs, and we want you to play percussion on everything else that you don't play. And I was like, okay, cool. So I had some congas, and I had like shakers, and just did subtle percussion things here and there. So we did a reunion show at Trees, and Hayes played like the majority of the show, and I played those. But when Hayes played, I did all the percussion. So yeah, pretty neat.
That's awesome, man. That's cool. There was another one I don't know if we've touched on yet. Oh no, we did touch on Bullet Ant. Yeah. See what else, if I have anything else here. We're about 35 minutes in. I was going to let us run for about 45 minutes. Like I said, we're just trying it out here on this first one.
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
I hope I'm filling in the time. I can talk my ass off about me all day long.
Oh, dude, you're killing it, man. This is great. So that I do remember that Samsara tryout. Yeah. What were the 3 songs that you said you?
It was Up Against, Quick and Easy, and the Mission Control.
Mission Control. That's right. Yeah.
They're like, you pick 3, and so I picked those 3. They were the first 3 on the disc, and I was like, yeah. They just had a cool flow.
Oh, that's right. That's the first 3 songs off of Innova.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, it had such a cool flow, those first 3, and I was like, wow, that's the 3 I want to play.
I remember it was at that place over in Richardson off of
Plano
Road. Cham
Absolutely.
Station or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, yeah. That's cool. Man, I was going to comment on the Firebird. Is that what that is?
I like that. That was actually, I painted that. Before I left Dallas, like I said, I played in a bunch of different tribute bands, or cover tribute bands. And the last one I played in was called, I named it Big Black Hawk.
That's great.
I came up with that logo, and I painted that myself.
That name is fantastic, dude. That is
Big Black Hawk. Friday nights is Big Black Hawk night. Ladies' night, Big Black Hawk. All you can eat buffet, Big Black Hawk.
That is so awesome, dude. Yes.
I even have a shirt that says I love Big Black Hawk.
Really?
Yeah,
dude,
absolutely.
Man, you got those in 4X, man?
I can send you the logo.
Man, that is so cool. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we could talk about what I do now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I moved to Houston in 2015 because I just got burned out. I love playing. I played so much, and it got to where it wasn't fun for me. So I moved to Houston. My wife was pissed. I became an alcoholic because of it. But I would occasionally, not occasionally, all the time I would get called, hey man, can you come fill in? No. So I was like, wait a minute, Loaded Moses, they continue to do shows. And I became what I wanted, which was the lone drummer. Like, I didn't want to play dual drummers. Not because I just wanted to play for me. In my personal opinion, I think I'm a better drummer than him. That's opinion. Post that. They would agree with you. But you can post that too. So I would do these shows with them once or twice a year. Before we moved back, there was I filled in. I got a call from Guns N' Roses, and Chris Bender wanted me to fill in, and that was exciting for me because I hadn't played with that band in 6 years, and there's that inter-band drama thing that kicked, and for me it was like I got to finish up some unfinished business with them, so it was very inspiring. With that, somebody else who was in a Guns N' Roses tribute band or had his own tribute band, those Guns N' Roses called me that night, and he contacted me, and he's like, hey, I need you to fill in for my band. And I was like, dude, when is it? What's next March? And it was November. I was like, dude, call me in February and let's see where we're at. I knew that I was going to be moving back in February, Contact me, and when I was moving back, I was like, okay, I'll do it. So I played that show, and that was about it until I got a call about a year later, which was in this time last year. Hey man, need you to join the band full time. I'm like, well, I'm not going to join the band full time, but I'll play. And he put together a plethora of great talent, really, not himself, but everyone that he hired. We had a bass player from Bricks in the Wall, the singer from the Crew Houston, the Crew tribute from Houston, I think that's what they're called, and a guy named Eddie J, who was like he was like Slash and reincarnated. We formed a band for a little bit. It split up. I got hired by a different. Basically, what I'm getting at is, if you ever need a Guns N' Roses cover tribute band fill-in, I'm your guy. I played with 3 different Guns N' Roses tribute bands last year. Anyway, but I jam with people here and there.
Yeah.
I do have a band, per se, but like I was telling you, it's a band that we only play once a quarter, and we play like a golf course or some special event for people. It's a bunch of old dudes, you know. Sadly, when I go to jam with these guys nowadays, and I see my demographic, and I'm looking around going, oh God, these guys are old. How's everyone? Your dad? Okay. So I'm the same age, so I guess I'm one of you guys, you know, and that kind of throws me off a little bit. But I don't take it serious anymore. I don't get worked up really. The only time I get worked up is like you're a musician, you deal with douchebags every once in a while.
Yeah.
And, but I take a different approach to it. I don't take it too serious. I don't have any expectation really. I'm doing a studio deal here in 2 weeks. Some guy I knew for years, he was in a band with this dude, and this dude's moving back to Florida, and he wrote this song because he just got divorced, and he wants to have it at the middle for himself. So I'm going to go in and play drums, but we rehearsed it yesterday right here in this room. Anyway, so I do that. I do sparingly, do things, but I will say this. I discovered the recent death of an Army buddy of mine, and it kind of spun me in all kinds of different directions. But what I ended up doing was I had to look for this tape from 1990 where I knew me and this guy were on. And so I had to go through all these camcorder tapes. And you remember camcorders? Oh, yeah. So I started transferring all these camcorder tapes to, like, DVD, which is still old school. I mean, why didn't I expect to stay in computer? Because, as I told you earlier, I'm not computer savvy. Anyway, so I started running into all these old shows. I mean, from like the late 90s, early 2000s. And it's weird that this is happening today. I watched a bunch of myself all last week. Well, the week before, because I was out of town, but this past weekend, for sure. Got to watch that whole glammy Bradley guy that I was, wild hair, wild hats, and glitter, and lights everywhere. I mean, dude, I was the most valuable dude. I was like a professional wrestler playing drums. I mean,
right.
I really loved it.
Putting on a show, man. You are a hell of a showman. I will say that.
Yeah, I wasn't going to be. I guarantee it. I wasn't going to be the most technical drummer that night, but I guarantee you, I was the most entertaining for sure.
Yes.
Unless it was up against like Chris Antonopoulos, who was a Dallas legend in my mind. He was the drummer for Hellified Funk Crew. He was like Tommy Lee reincarnated. It was like skins, girl, twins, this whole deal, and he did his deal.
Hellified were great. I remember after Hellified, they became Undeniable.
Undeniable.
And Undeniable took my band Outlet with them down to San Antonio one time. And they were really cool guys, man. They were really good to us. Like, we had a great time. Like, they were a lot of fun. Yeah. I
still talk to Bones, who was the bass player for that band. I still talk to him occasionally. Yeah.
Bones, yeah. The only one I actually remembered in the name and everything was Charles. I remember the front man.
Yeah, Charles Treadwell. I mean, who doesn't know Charles Treadwell? Yeah.
Was that his last name, Treadwell?
Mm-hmm.
It seems like when we're talking about Deep Ellum, we got to bring him up. You know,
absolutely, you're right. And hey, Charles
and Jerry Rutherford, right? Got to mention Jerry Rutherford.
That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah, that guy. I mean, every show I would go to, that guy was there. Like every show,
Jerry Rutherford. He always wore the same stocking hat. You know?
Yes. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, since you're bringing old people from Deep Ellum, I don't remember the guy's name, but there was the monitor mix guy for the Curtain Club. He had like all this long curly hair, and he had a twin brother. I forget their names. Anyway, I wanted to give tribute to that guy. He has passed away as well.
Wow. That's the tough part about a lot of this, is that a lot of these older cats, man, they're starting to pass on. And I looked up to a lot of these people, you know, and it's a bummer. You know?
Sadly, you know, the thing of it is, I probably speak more than them, and I'm still alive. They're kind of scary. I don't want to drop tomorrow, but I wonder if they died in the last 2 or 3 years because of God. No, I'm not going to go there.
We'll just keep it pure, man. Let's keep it music. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Man, I'm glad Buster made an appearance in here, man. That was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I can go get him if you want.
Hey, if you want to go out like that, but you know, because we're at 45
Yeah, let me go grab Buster. Hold on.
Go grab him real quick. Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Okay. Buster. Buster.
He sounds like he's a mess.
Come on. Hop up here. All right, come on, Buster. All right, come here. You're going to sit in my lap real quick. All right. And then there's my Buster. There's my Buster. Look here. That's Buster.
Hi, Buster.
That's my dog. He's my savior. I got him 7 years ago in Houston. Bought him in a black market type of purchase. It was too weird, but yeah.
That's awesome, man. Hi, Buster.
Well, Gary, thanks for. I guess we're wrapping it up, huh?
Yeah, I think so. I think I got about what I need. That flow's great, man.
Dude, close as you can. Dude, I appreciate the fact that you're doing this. I know there's a lot of guys that are really going to dig it. I know a bunch of guys that will line up to interview for you. It's really cool that you're keeping it alive.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I'm doing everything I can to keep that spark going, man. And
well, that's cool.
You know, as far as I'm going to try to write out like a nice little list of people that I want to talk to and work with on this, and try to map out maybe like the first 10 episodes at least. And so I'd like to get your thoughts on maybe some of the people I should speak to.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
I can help you get in touch with some of them, if anything.
Cool.
I still know a bunch of dudes or bump into them or here and there. I could probably get in touch with Charles Treadwell for you, maybe.
That would be
if you want to talk to him.
Yeah.
I would go through Kerry Crafton, who was a producer here in Dallas. He played with Hellified Punk Crew for a little bit, but he probably knows how to get in touch with him if you wanted to.
Okay.
Alligator Dave, if you could find Alligator Dave. You remember Alligator Dave?
Yes, I remember the name. Yeah.
Okay. That would be fun. Who else would be good? Chris Antonopoulos, I can find a contact for him. Whether he do it or not, I don't know.
Okay.
He lives in like Holland now or something, from what I understand. He was the drummer for Hellified Punk Crew. He went on to play with Vanilla Ice, and he played with some other European metal band. I can't remember what band he went to. I want to say Opeth.
Oh wow.
Opeth for the Masses, or something for the masses.
We'll have to, find out and text it to me. Yeah.
Right. Another one would be Deep Ellum. Believe it or not, would be if I could get her to do it, or we could get her to do it, would be Piper Dagnino. She was the bass player for Girl, and she played in a bunch of Deep Ellum. And dude, this chick, if you're a bass player, she like emulated Getty. Like
Oh,
she would play keyboard and just do chords like she did, and she was badass. She went in. She married the manager of Blue October, and she was in Blue October for a while, and she gets writing credits on that album that was so big for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you let me know. I know several people.
Sweet. That was another one, Blue October, that is definitely worth mentioning for sure. I'm glad they came up too. Yeah.
Yeah. There were the Von Erichs. They became. They were from Wichita Falls. Shit. Hold on. God damn it, they did, shit! God damn it. I'll think of it in just a minute.
It'll come to you. No worries. Yeah.
I'll probably have to send it to you. Dude, hold on, let me go ahead.
You go into the vinyl collection?
No, I'm not going to the
Oh, okay.
You want to see the vinyl collection real quick?
Might as well, real quick, if you're going to pass by.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me turn on the lights here. All right, there's the stereo.
Wow, see? Look at that.
And then the vinyl collection is from all... Watch out, Buster.
Look at that real, man. Wow.
Oh, yeah, I got it. But, yeah, I got a couple. Yeah, I got it all decked out. I built this by myself.
That is so
awesome. And here's I gutted these old PA speakers out and made, like, mains with them. And then I have some Sherwin Vegas up here.
Brilliant.
What was the band base that was big from Wichita Falls, and they had the radio hit? They were Beef Jerky, and came Bowling for Soup.
Bowling for Soup, of course. Okay.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. That's another one. Yeah. See, there's another one. There's so many that we, weren't even thinking about at the beginning. Yeah.
I was shocked that you brought up Frolic. I forgot about him.
Frolic. Yeah. That was my first Deep Ellum band to ever see. Yeah.
I played a line of shows with them, and I knew that their guitar player died.
God rest him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate to hear that.
Yeah.
Well,
man, if you have any ideas or want any input, by all means,
absolutely.
I'd help you out.
Man, thanks so much, dude. I really appreciate you doing this as well. So.
Yeah, thank you, dude. I'm honored to be your first guest. How about that?
Well, the band that I'm doing with Janardan, Thieves.
Yeah.
We're gonna be playing some shows before too long, and whenever we do, I'd love for you to come out and say hello.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I will tell you this: that you're probably going to have a better crowd in Fort Worth because Fort Worth has a more original crowd. Like Dallas is treated. I mean, there's no place to play, in Dallas really. The Wrigley Room is a big deal over here in Fort Worth right now. I
just played there on Friday night.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. They get a lot of bands that roll through there. Wrigley Room. But there's more of an original vibe over in Fort Worth.
Right. See, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that Fort Worth was more centered on the original stuff in Dallas. I definitely knew there was a lot of tribute stuff in Dallas, but I didn't know Fort Worth was more centered on the original stuff.
Yeah, I can't even think of where you could play in Dallas as an original band.
Well, I played in Richardson on Saturday at Six Springs, but it just kind of feels like it's more spread out now to where it used to be real congregated, like right there in Ellum. It's all kind of spread out.
Yeah, Dallas, like I was saying, became this band, but Deep Ellum is just out there, and there's not no bands anymore in Dallas.
Curtain Club is like an upscale restaurant now, right? Isn't that what it is?
I haven't been down there. I avoid it. The crime down there is bad.
Yeah, I'm afraid to look, really.
I'm 52 years old, and I'm not trying to go fight nobody.
Right.
But yeah, Fort Worth is vastly more original. And Houston is straight up original band. As far as like metal, has it going on. There's like all kinds of things, I guess.
Well, dude, it's been great. Metal, as always. Yeah. I guess I'll be seeing you soon, man. That was awesome.
All right,
I'm glad
man.
we
Thank
did
you
this.
very much. Keep me abreast of the shows that you might be playing.
What's that?
Keep me abreast of the shows that you might be playing.
Oh yeah.
Like put events deals on your Facebook.
Absolutely, I will. I'll send you a link because I post events and all that stuff. So, yeah, I'll start sharing it with you. Yeah.
Okay.
Facebook
Please
likes to
do.
bury it, so like none of my friends see it. I hate how they do that. So I'll just share it with you directly.
Because I haven't seen any. I'll get off as soon as I get off. I'll pull it up and see what.
That does surprise me because I do it all. I post stuff all the time, but yeah.
I might not like your band, so to speak. So I'll look that up.
Cool, awesome, dude.
All right.
Thanks, Bradley.
Take care, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, man.
All right, bye-bye.